Today, we bring you an inspiring story about a young man named Liam. He was an ordinary person living in a small, quiet town, leading a life that felt predictable and routine. Yet deep down, Liam longed for something more, a journey that could help him discover his true self. This is a tale of courage, taking the first step toward change, and how one journey transformed his life forever. Let's dive into Liam's story and see how he found the true meaning of life. Liam was a young man who lived in a small and quiet town. His life was very simple, and every day felt the same. He would wake up in the morning, go to work at a small bookstore, return home in the evening, have dinner, and then sleep. Liam loved the smell of old books and the stories they carried, but deep inside, he felt that his own life was missing something important. He often dreamed about having an adventure and seeing the world. However, he was always too afraid to take the first step. Suddenly, a woman walked into the bookstore carrying a suitcase. It was clear that she was not from this small town. Her clothes looked a little dusty, and she had a camera hanging around her neck. She smiled at Liam and spoke with a kind voice. "Hello. My name is Sophie," she said, shaking Liam's hand. "I am a travel writer, and I am just passing through. Do you have any books about local history or interesting places in this area?" Liam nodded and led her to a small section at the back of the bookstore. As they searched for books, they began to talk. Sophie told Liam about all the places she had visited. She spoke about the colorful markets in Morocco, the peaceful temples in Japan, and the wild, natural beauty of Patagonia. Her stories were full of excitement, and her eyes shone with happiness as she spoke. Liam listened carefully, feeling amazed. "How do you do it?" he asked her quietly. "How do you leave your home and travel to so many places?" Sophie looked at Liam and smiled. "I will tell you something important," she said. "You do not need to leave everything behind. You just need to take the first step. Once you start moving, life will show you the way." That night, Liam could not stop thinking about their conversation. Sophie's words kept repeating in his mind. For the first time in a long time, he felt excited about the future. Maybe it was finally time to take the first step and explore the world. The next morning, Liam made a big decision. He would travel. He was not sure where to go, but he chose to start with Italy, a country he had always dreamed of visiting. In the weeks that followed, Liam worked hard to save money. He also learned basic Italian words and read about Italian culture. Before Sophie left the town, she gave him her email address, so Liam wrote to her for advice. She was happy to help him and gave him tips about interesting places to visit. On the day of his departure, Liam felt nervous and excited at the same time. When the plane took off, he looked out of the window and watched his small town disappear. This was the moment he had been waiting for. He was finally stepping out of his comfort zone. Liam's first stop was Rome. The city was even more beautiful than he had imagined. The ancient Colosseum, the amazing art in the Vatican, and the lively streets full of people speaking Italian. It was all so new and exciting. At first, Liam felt like he did not belong there. He could not speak the language very well, and he got lost many times. But slowly, he began to feel more comfortable. Each small mistake taught him something important. He started to rely on the kindness of strangers and learned to enjoy every moment. One afternoon, while sitting in a small cafe near Piazza Navona, Liam met an old man named Marco. Marco owned the cafe and loved to talk to visitors. He noticed that Liam looked unsure and invited him to sit at his table. "You look like someone who is searching for something," Marco said with a smile. Liam nodded. "Yes, I think I am. I want to learn new things and understand who I really am." Marco laughed softly. "Then you are in the right place. Italy teaches people about life in many ways. Let me show you something special." Marco took Liam to a small vineyard outside the city. It was run by a family who had been making wine for many generations. They welcomed Liam with open arms and showed him how they picked the grapes and made wine. Liam spent the whole day there, helping them and listening to their stories. For the first time in his life, he felt truly connected to other people and to something much bigger than himself. Over the next few months, Liam's confidence grew. He traveled to Florence, Venice, and the Amalfi Coast. Each city had its own beauty and its own lessons to teach. In Florence, Liam was amazed by the art and buildings, realizing how powerful human creativity could be. In Venice, he learned to slow down and enjoy the simple moments, as he rowed boats through the quiet canals. On the Amalfi Coast, he learned the joy of sharing food with new friends and watching the sun set over the sea. Liam's journey was not always easy. Sometimes he felt lonely and unsure of himself. But every time he doubted his decision, he remembered Sophie's words. "Life will show you the way once you start moving." She was right. The more Liam traveled, the more he discovered about himself and the world around him. When Liam finally returned to his small town, he was not the same person he had been before. He brought back many photos and stories, but the most important thing he brought back was a new understanding of himself. Liam realized that his journey did not have to end just because he was home. He decided to start a blog to share his travel experiences with other people. To Liam's surprise, his blog became very popular. People from around the world began to read his stories and write to him. They thanked him for inspiring them to take their own first steps toward adventure. One day, Liam received an email from Sophie. She told him that she was proud of everything he had done. "Remember," she wrote, "this is only the beginning. The world is full of amazing possibilities, and you are too." Liam smiled as he read her message. He knew that she was right. His journey had taught him that life is full of opportunities to grow and learn. He could not wait to see where his next adventure would take him.
Thank you for watching. Remember to keep learning and practicing every day. Don't forget to subscribe, so you won't miss out on more helpful videos that make learning English easier and more enjoyable every day. See you in the next lesson.